Welcome back, Toy Grinders. I'm back with some MOTU Origins updates for you.
Hey kid, yeah, you. Everyone thinks toys are fun, but this is a channel for adults. Yeah, I said it. If you're under the age of 18, go get your parents before you come in here. If you're under the age of 13, scram! Let's get on with the show.
How you doing, folks? This is Grindhead Jim, and we're here to talk about some MOTU Origins stuff that I got recently. Not really a review, but I do reviews in waves, which I'm still working on Wave 2 and everything beyond that. But I just want to briefly talk about some of my most sought-after figures that all finally arrived this week. So let's talk about them. We've got Ninjor, Roboto, and the ever-elusive Target exclusive Battlefield Warriors with He-Man and Battle Cat, all battle damaged, and He-Man has vac metal all over his chest. Also notable in the Battlefield Warriors kit, I guess you could say, it's supposed to be a 2-pack, but there's a lot more than 2 things in it. You've got Battle Cat, yeah, you've got He-Man with an exclusive head and the full sword. Got some extra hands. Got these 2 little gargoyle guys, which are really cool. They're meant to hang on Castle Grayskull. You also get these platforms, which you can link together and are meant to pair up with Castle Grayskull. Now, it's not like a piece you attach to Castle Grayskull, but it is something that you can use to kind of expand the play area. Between this extension, the flying displays for the Wind Raider and the Sky Sleds that I have, that's going to create some really cool different features and so forth. And there's other things coming up down the pipe that are going to be helping to make all of that a much cooler thing. My Grayskull is going to be very happy. Of course, it's still not put together yet, but most of you know the story about that. For now, I'm not taking the Battlefield Warriors out of the box. The artwork is so beautiful and the packaging is so striking. I'm going to use this as a background for a while because I just love it. But we can talk about these guys. As most of you know, Ninjor is basically a Skeletor body with a tunic over top and a different head. That's really what his sculpt is like. His weapons are unique to him, and there are a few things about him I think you should know. He has these nunchucks, which famously used to have a metal chain on them for the vintage line. They no longer have that, but they do have a working plastic chain link, which is pretty nice. He has this katana blade, which is quite well sculpted, and despite being one solid flat color, I rather like the finish on this. Finally, you have his super over-the-top compound bow, which is pretty neat. Has a slot here so you can put it where the sword would go. So a word about that. What I have found is that you can keep all of the accessories in place at the same time. Here's how you do it. First, I put the nunchucks where they're supposed to go in this slot right here. Then I begin to thread the sword where it's supposed to go. And I get it down about there. Now we take the bow, shallow side up, thread it through like that, push the sword down to clamp it in. It's not perfect, but it does work, it does display, and even though if it does stick out the back a little bit, it does work. Something else of note with Ninjor is that his head comes off extremely easily. Just like that. If you look inside his head, it's pretty shallow. And the peg is perfectly fine. I tried taking his tunic off, all manner of things, trying to readjust his head, thinking that I'd gotten something wrong. It turns out it's just that loose. I don't know if other people are experiencing the same things that I am with his head. If you have a Ninjor, check him out and let me know if you're having the same problem. If you have the same problem and you figured out a way to get it on there with it actually popping in properly, let me know in the comments. I legitimately want your help. Even with the few little complaints that I have, Ninjor is a great looking figure. I never had one as a child. I don't miss the soft goods. I'm not a fan of soft goods. I think the sculpt and the molding the way that it is a perfect addition to my collection. Now let's talk about Roboto. I never had a Roboto in my collection either, so this is the first time for me as well. I played with him a little bit as a kid, but I never had one. So this was my first chance. Now, as I understand it, his action is a little bit different. He has a ratcheting thing and his mouth goes, duh, 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 duh. I'm not sure what else he's supposed to do. Line them up like that, and then you should come back around. So depending on how you do it, you can turn his legs to make this go, or you can turn his chest to make it go like this. Not really sure what use it is, but I will say for those interested in machinima, it could be worth doing just so you can get him to talk. So I'm going to hold him awkwardly here for the camera, but not the most practical action, but it's something and it's cool. I like that the gears still turn, and it's something that is likely to hold up over time. Now, the big gimmick with Roboto are his arm accessories. He's got this laser pistol, his claw, which incidentally can also be used to hold his gun arm, and a rather pithy axe. Something to note with Roboto is that there is no place to store his accessories as such. I've actually kept the bag that the accessories go in until I get them into a proper poly bag, just to make sure I don't get rid of them. Another thing to know is that if you do put his gun in that claw, it is going to stretch the hand a little bit. I don't know if that's going to become a problem over time, but I would advise against displaying him permanently in that fixture. If you want the gun, put it on his arm. One of the best features of the MOTU Origins line is the exchangeability of parts, so you can mix and match and customize your figures without doing any permanent damage to them. One of the most famous customizations is with the sister line, Masters of the WWE Universe, and the figure for Kane. Now, I do have Kane in my collection, still on card. I just haven't gotten around to opening him yet, and I am going to be doing a video with some basic customizations, things that I've done, things that others have suggested, and so forth, in a whole feature video by itself. So I won't be exploring that here. I do want to give a shout out to Bjorn Jorgensen for graciously donating that Kane figure along with a Goldberg to the channel. While I'm doing shout outs, big thanks to my good friend Jesse Hughes, the Epic Badger, for finding Battlefield Warriors in the wild and shipping him to me as quickly as he did. Thank you so much for helping out, brother, and I appreciate you. The reason I chose to make this video about these three figure sets is that these were the three that were probably the hardest for me to find outside of Trapjaw. These were notoriously hard to get, and they were fetching high prices, so I had to be really patient to find something close to retail. I still paid well above retail for both Ninjor and Roboto, but not a ton. It was around $25 a piece, all said and done. I ended up having to get Roboto imported from Canada because that was the best price available to me at the time. Battlefield Warriors, of course, was retail as it was bought off the shelf at a Target. All I paid extra was shipping on that, which I was happy to do because I knew that Jesse would pack things really well, which he did. I will be swimming in styrofoam peanuts for the next 5 years. But when all is said and done, these are great figures and worthy additions to your collection, not just mine. If you have them, give me your thoughts and your experience with them as well. If you don't have them and you're thinking about getting them, what questions do you have? I really enjoy these figures. I especially love the Battlefield Warriors set. I can't wait until everything's out and about and intermingling in a true display, but as you know, we're working towards some things to make that happen. For now, I like to keep him out on the old table here for videos because he's just so darn cool. In the meantime, may all of your grinds be merry, may all of your card backs be straight, and I hope you can find anything you're looking for at any time for the right price. Take care, and Godzilla bless. Cheers.